The Vernetti versus Thomas race for the Missouri State 123rd District, which is our community. That's who represents us at the state level in the House of Representatives,
right? Is that just the Lake area?
Well, it's one of the numerous people from the Lake area. I mean, it's broken down by county. It covers just up to the edge of Miller County and Lake Ozark, just to the edge, covers just into like Laurie area, and then covers into Camdenton. So it's almost a tri-county area.
Okay.
But then you also have others that are like in Morgan County and into Miller County. So it's really confusing, but here you can see on screen the 123rd District, the outline right there for exactly what that voting district is. And since 2020, that's a position that's been held by incumbent Lisa Thomas. Well, we told you a couple weeks ago on the show that her challenger, Jeff Vernetti, Lisa Thomas, with the help of Osage Beach Mayor Michael Harmison, had raised some concerns and been sending out some reports and facilitating some people considered it rumors, but what they believe to be misuse of federal funding with the Ballparks National Grant. And at that time, I told you, hey, I'm not touching this. We'll let this process play out. If there's ill or wrongdoing here on behalf of Jeff Vernetti and Ballparks National, the challenger, surely the process will work itself out, right? I felt like it was a witch hunt and a smear campaign. Well, since that moment 2 weeks ago, I'm not the only person that seems to feel this way. Since that moment, we've had presiding commissioner Ike Skelton get involved. You saw that. He put a video out.
Yep.
Then you've also had others speak out, and I put just a post out on my Facebook, right, saying, hey, who would you vote for, Jeff Vernetti or Lisa Thomas? Now, hard to say because I think that my pages have pretty distinct following, a pretty, one-way followers. But they all said they definitely want Vernetti, and you started to see some concerns. Well, then on Monday, I got a letter from Jeff Vernetti and Ballparks National they were sending to the city of Osage Beach, terminating the contract of Ballparks National operating these city fields. Remember, we covered that story last year, and that's been a great thing. Well, if looking into that, there's been almost $75,000 in revenues generated this year alone with a couple years, and this will be the last year that Ballparks National controls that. And in that letter, you see Jeff Vernetti first wanted to go on and thank Eric Gregory, the rest of the staff at the city, the administrative staff, billing, licensing, clerk departments. All of these individuals and departments have been true partners, and we thank you, citing the letter here. Now, unfortunately, Mayor Harmison has taken it upon himself to personally launch unfounded attacks on our business and integrity. Our ownership group and entire organization are very disappointed, and so they said we would be happy to consider another partnership in the future, but at this time we cannot continue while Mayor Harmison is involved in trying to attack our business standing in the community.
Wow.
Wow.
That is big. I've kind of been surprised that Mayor Harmison even got involved in this, siding kind of with Lisa Thomas, and Ballparks National isn't even in his town, although they did have this working agreement where BPN was helping the city of Osage, but not anymore because of the bad blood between Vernetti and Mayor Harmison.
And my question is, if it was so bad, Mayor Michael Harmison, if the egregious actions, why didn't this letter come from the city of Osage Beach to Ballparks National first? Saying we're no longer going to let you run our fields because we have such an issue.
We don't want to be associated with you.
Because if you have this big of an issue, and so that letter happened. You saw the video from presiding commissioner, and now there's even questions in some of these videos about Lisa Thomas's record, and that's really where I think this should all be about. It's like, I don't know, like you said, why Mayor Michael Harmison ever got involved. I can tell you, based on my opinion, 100% politically motivated. He has his eyes set on the Missouri Senate. And if you look through some of those comments, somebody said, rumor has it that if he can help ruin the name of Vernetti and help Lisa Thomas get elected, the same people will back him for the Missouri Senate. And so he's already told me on the phone, he said, hey, I want to run for Senate, and I would not be able to sleep at night knowing someone like Jeff Vernetti was representing that district that I came from. And so there's no questions in my mind, Chris. This is 100% narcissistic behavior by Mayor Michael Harmison, and he's got a political agenda here. My problem is for him, though, and it shows because people aren't stupid down here. I think he was banking on people being a little more nearsighted and maybe not as diligent as this community is, but they see right through it. No one is falling for this. I'm not seeing any support for Mayor Michael Harmison, and I'm definitely not seeing any support for Dr. Lisa Thomas, which brings me to my letter I received on Monday night from Presiding Commissioner Ike Skelton. We'll put the whole letter here on screen. I'll paraphrase. And it started with, as soon as I heard Lisa Thomas had a challenger, I wanted to support them. Didn't matter who it was, and not because I knew Jeff Vernetti, but because I knew her job performance and voting record. So prior to my election as presiding commissioner, I was involved in local and state politics for 15 years. Went on and on and on. The current office holder for the 123rd District says in multiple mailers that she supports conservative values and supports the Second Amendment. Well, here's the truth. And he goes on to say that according to the Missouri Firearms Coalition, HB 712 and HB 1651, both anti-red flag bills, along with HB 486 and HB 2559. Now, those are easy to find. If you search those numbers online, you can find those entire bills. And enhanced stand your ground bills, which would support and strengthen your right to conceal and carry. None of those were supported by Dr. Lisa Thomas. So this is Ike Skelton coming out and saying, our presiding commissioner saying, look, hey, I could care less about all of the smear campaign going on. Like, that's not why I'm getting involved. He's saying, I'm here to tell you that Lisa Thomas is not doing a good job representing the people of the 123rd District for the state of Missouri in Jefferson City, and so we need somebody different. And it's clear by their actions, Chris, to me, that you can ask a few questions following the behavior from Dr. Lisa Thomas. It's clear Michael Harmison teamed up with her, and they have an agenda. But it's backfired, I believe, Chris. So now you can ask these questions. The legitimacy of Lisa Thomas's conservative and Republican values and roots, and where her money's coming from. That was one of the things I saw a lot of comments on, was the influx of mailers and digital ads they saw. She spent almost $100,000 on this campaign. Public knowledge, you can go look that up. Jeff Vernetti sits closer to the $10,000, $11,000 mark. So about a 10% spend for a job that doesn't even pay the $100,000 you're injecting. Also, how well has Lisa Thomas represented the 123rd District since 2020? Has she represented you, Lake of the Ozarks, been a voice for you? And the question of Lisa Thomas's judgment to collaborate with Mayor Michael Harmison to begin with. So with that being said, I'm urging everybody, we have to, as a community, vote Lisa Thomas out of the 123rd District. I'm going out on a limb, and I don't normally endorse candidates personally. But I am urging you, Lake of the Ozarks, on Tuesday, August 6th, vote Jeff Vernetti for state representative for the 123rd District here for the state of Missouri, as he's in this community, owns a business in this community, raises his family in this community, and that's the kind of person that understands what this is about. It's the reason he ran to begin with. And so I'm going to tell you, I urge you, vote Jeff Vernetti on August 6th for state rep. And again, I do not normally personally endorse. I won't take ad dollars. We never have done that since 2021. And we won't take ad dollars in this case, but I will come out and say that's my selection for state rep.